It's a hell of a Band-Aid. We've still got a lot of poker to play. I'm sitting next to the 2005 World Series of Poker main event champion. I have to say that every time before I announce your name, Joe. Unfortunately, it's a hell of a title. So, you've played these stakes. Do you approach this field? I mean, the answer will be yes, but let's get more into it. Do you approach this field a lot differently to a main event, for example?
It's when you play in this field, you're playing with a known quantity. You know the players, you know their tendencies, you know they're not going to do anything ridiculous. So it's kind of like it helps you corral their activities. Whereas when you play in a large field event with a lot of unknowns, a lot of players who are amateur players, they could do anything. Like we saw Dwaglen do in the main event. You know, like this event, there's more pressure because the level of thinking is higher, but at the same time, how do I say? I don't want to use the word easier, but I want to say I want to use the word more predictable, perhaps. Like, I know that he's going to make a move that makes sense.
And they seem so relaxed too. Look at this. Well, we have Jason Moe raising with Queen Jack offsuit. Richard Yong calls and flops a full house, and it looks as though Jason's going to bet into him with what he thinks is a straight draw that might be live.
We haven't spoken about Jason. Jason's a young gun of an online player. He has built up a very impressive record online, and he's very feared.
Well, he bets 65,000 and gets a call from Richard Yong. And look at this, the turn, as though it was scripted, a 9 of spades. So that will cost Jason Moe, I'd imagine, quite a bit.
The poker gods are so cruel, aren't they?
They sure are. Well, the pot now almost 300,000. Jason Moe with 1.2 behind him. Turns a straight. Little does he know Richard Yong is sitting on a full house. And he's pretty much flopped him dead. There is no chance that Jason will win this hand. He has bet 145,000. Will Richard Yong elect to call? Or will he pull the trigger now? Richard Yong, the dealer, tells him there's 20 seconds left on the clock. Each player has 30 seconds.
Jason bets out 145,000.
Richard Yong making a big bet of over 350,000 now, trying to get the rest of Jason Moe's money, given that Jason has such a strong hand. Is this the time, Joe? Is this where he sticks it in? Would he be wrong to?
No, he wouldn't be wrong to. Look, you know, I've said it time and time again. It's hard enough to make a pair, let alone a straight, let alone a full house. So it's sometimes you just get cold decked. This is a cold deck.
Jason calls.
He's announced call, so we will see a river. And the river is an 8 of hearts and gives Richard Yong quads, and he announces all in. So,
unfortunately, Paul, though, that is the worst card in the deck for Richard, because now Jason beats nothing. Now it's an easy fold for him at this point. We've noticed the dealer in the background calling 20 seconds. This tournament is played, everyone only gets 30 seconds to act on their hand. And you see the blue buttons in front of every player? That's extended time. So you get like another minute, a minute and a half if you want to think about your hand. And the reason we've done this is so that people do not think for too long and waste time.
is it possible that the lucky 8 on the river for Richard Yong giving him quads could be a saviour? And it is, Joe. You're right. It saved Jason Moe. He would likely have called had that river been anything else.
Actor and son of Goldie Hawn, who was at our featured table today.
And of course, he's the brother of actress Kate Hudson.
Action is on Sam Farha. On the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam, Farha has ace-10 offsuit. Sammy's going to bet 200 chips. Everybody in the room starts with their buy-in amount, 10,000 chips. Over to Oliver Hudson in 2002. He was one of People Magazine's 50 most beautiful people.
I don't see it.
Pocket tens.
Raise.
And Oliver has announced a raise.
Raise.
He's going to make it 450 to Sam Farha.
Sammy doesn't like to wait a long time to get his feet wet. This is the first hand of the session, and he's going to call with his ace-10 offsuit.
Oliver Hudson in the lead right now with his pocket tens. The flop is ace, ace, 10. Both get full houses, but Sammy's got the nuts.
You gotta be kidding me. This is the very first hand of the main event for both of these guys. Hudson has tens full. I mean, he can't get up. This is a disaster movie for him.
Farha earns the check mark, but both players check.
Both were slow playing it, and Mr. Hudson is in bad shape. He's got the tens full. He's not going anywhere.
A full house for Oliver Hudson, but it's second best. He bets 300 chips. Farha raises now to 1,300. That's a lot for this point of the tournament. Well, hand one.
All in.
And Hudson goes all in. And Farha calls immediately.
Oh my God.
Very first hand of their main event. Sammy's got the nuts, and Oliver Hudson is in shock. I mean, someone needs to tell him he can get up. He is drawing dead. He's going home.
A meaningless jack on the river, and Hudson's gone.
First hand.
That is incredible.
That's it. Holy. Hey, nice hand, man. I do. That's the way to get beat, I guess.
He just blew through 10 grand in about 90 seconds. Those are Paris Hilton numbers.
I think O'Mahony is gonna play now.
Yeah.
Raised 6,000 total.
Oops. It spells trouble for Hickman.
You hate to see a cold deck hand happen, but Daz Hickman is about to be on the back end of some awful cards. And, in this particular format, Ken, it's really hard
20,000 more, 20.
to get off of this kind of situation, big pair against big pair,
Yeah,
isn't it?
folding queens, I don't know how. It would be hard for me to fold queens in this format, I'm telling you that.
The re-raise is 20,000 more. Oh, wow.
Whoa! Look at this. Talk about cold deck.
Queens versus kings versus
Oh, look
aces.
at that face. Yum, yum, yum. I like these sweets.
Achilles,
Sweets for my sweet, sugar for the daddy.
Achilles is one of the great trappers of all time. And he'll probably sit here for about 7 minutes. Do you think he's going to move all in, though? Is there any reason that he might try and smooth call here?
Yeah, if he's greedy and wants all the chips from both players. As it is, a call here would be perfect, because then the kings would come over the top.
But, I mean, even if he does re-raise all in, can't that possibly look like ace-king?
Yeah, I mean, kings are not gonna fold, but queens can get off the hook. If he moves all in and kings calls, but queens might call anyway.
I don't know if I've ever seen this before. Queens versus kings versus aces in the same hand.
Looks like he's having a very difficult decision with his pocket jacks.
And the Oscar goes to... There he is.
No, that was quite imminent. I was just knew it was going to happen, but I just didn't. I was trying to work. He
Look
might
at
do it in
this.
a minute.
How many pocket pairs are out here?
I'm surprised. you
Many.
No, got off.
4 pocket pairs. 5 pocket pairs. Wow,
took that end.
that's
Anyway,
amazing.
if you've got a hand, I've got a
You
hand.
really don't want to play.
It's gotten very fortunate for Dale Hoy and Johnny Houston that they don't have to stick a chip in the pot.
You really
But
don't.
what is O'Mahony thinking right now?
Thank you, Lord. Give me another one. Oh, he likes his hand for sure.
House.
We could see a triple all in.
Good hand.
And O'Mahony's asked for a count. I mean, he is a conservative guy. He's wearing a blue blazer
He
for
can
crying
never
out
fold
loud.
kings.
6,000
Folding kings
total.
would be a big mistake in the long run. If you start trying to second guess yourself, trying to make big laydown with kings, you're just, you're just not doing the things right.
Yeah, I know that's what Dan Harrington says in his book. He says, listen, it doesn't matter. Don't fold kings. If the guy gets aces, you can dog him anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And this table absolutely silent. But 3 hearts are going flap, flap. And I wonder what Daz Hickman is thinking as well.
I was thinking about that too, because this spells trouble for him, because of the both opponents are thinking so long. He thinks his queens are probably good. He thinks maybe I'm up against ace king, or ace king jacks. So I think he's gonna put the chips in as well.
Do you really want to go home now?
Chestnut to Gillies. Don't sling that one in. I mean, there will be better opportunities than this.
I just
99 out of 100 players.
I mean, is O'Mahony thinking right now for the benefit of trying to get Hickman's action, or is he actually considering that Kalakis might have
a
aces?
good hand. He's find it hard to put down.
He's probably trying to get Hickman's money as well. But now it's enough with acting. Put the chips in the middle. Spin the wheel.
This is
You
amazing.
pot committed?
You're going to tell him about it, or not?
Give it a look.
I feel like I could go and have a look at his hand and kick him. The
The funny thing is, O'Mahony's only
Going
got
for a pastoral then.
6,000 in.
I could tell you what you could do with them right now. Charming. I think you got the hand.
Wow!
Oh,
Wow.
my.
He trusted the instincts and they were absolutely right.
I've never ever seen kings folded pre-flop in this format before, and I mean, that's one of the greatest laydowns we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Or one of the worst.
It was a great laydown. He had the instincts that Kalakis had a hand, and he did, so he was right. You can't take that away from the guy. 98 out of 99 times it's the correct move to put the chips in the middle, but this time it was correct to fold, and he found the great play. And he gives the trouble to Hickman instead.
Yeah, Hickman would have found it much easier to fold these queens.
Call.
If O'Mahony had folded, and look at this! O'Mahony is going to pat himself on the back 6 ways to Sunday, while Hickman...
I'll give you one guess what I've folded.
Ace.
Kings.
King. I folded
Kings.
7. Kings.
Well,
Wow.
He's pretty pleased with himself.
no matter what happens from here, O'Mahony feels like he won. Of course,
No king.
we're liable to see a few kings on the flop.
He doesn't want a king.
I'm not even going to ask you.
Told the dealer no king.
Now, the only good news for Hickman here is that he's not all in,
Yeah.
but he's going to be short-stacked unless a queen comes.
Well, he looks like a ladies' man. That's the king. It's like, Lady Luck always rewards bad play and punish good play. She's got a weird sense of humor, that's for sure.
It really does. Dan Harrington proved right here. Poor Dennis Mahoney. He's
How about a 5 for a
It's a bit
straight?
perspective, you know what I'm saying, from my point of view.
Well, anything but a queen. Hickman's drawing to 2 cards here, and that's it.
5 of hearts.
Oh! 3rd place! For Achilles Kalakis with the 2 aces. What a hand! A queen on
What
the
a
river.
hand. Give me some water. Wow.
That's tough.
Ooh, what a
This
hand.
deck is colder than a polar bear's freezer. Achilles Kalakis taking a long walk of game.
That's all.
That.
That was an amazing, amazing hand.
What a pot. That's one for the books.
Inspired pass pre-flop, but knowing that you folded the winner, will O'Mahony's emotions come out? Phil Hellmuth knows something about.
Call.
And the limp in.
No raise.
I mean,
Yeah,
first
I mean-
level, you're not a big fan of limping in really, with anything, or are you?
No, not at all. But I mean, I'm the term they use on the internet, all the young kids these days, it's called mind setting, where they're trying to like trap a set and they hit a set, and there you go. But oh my goodness me, look at this.
How big could this pot get?
6,000.
Set, flush, straight.
Wow.
Cool.
Quick call from Achilles. I mean, he's not really to know right now how much action he could get by fast playing this, is he?
No, but he's made absolutely the correct move, because the last thing he wants to do is see another spade on the turn.
Landers has got the straight. I mean, what should happen now?
Well, quite rightly, Timmy's obviously of the opinion that he's betting, say, a lone ace or a pair. He's got a big hand here.
And he's made a big bet.
Yeah. I mean, I can't see Kalakis putting his hand down. I think those two are going to go to war, but I can see Donahue being clever enough to pass, but it is a real tight spot, this.
Can you pass a set here? I mean, how many options does Donahue have? Is raise an option right now for him?
No.
Cool.
Now comes the move, because if Kalakis can push here, if he can find it within himself to push. Oh.
Cool.
Is that a what kind of call is that? I mean, is he actually is he trying to slow play slow? Or is he actually worried?
I think he knows he's winning, but he's just hoping a spade doesn't come in the end. Oh my goodness me! Wow.
Check.
Donica's got 4 threes, and I mean,
and he still looks like he's asleep.
Can this pot get bigger?
I can only see a call. I think if he bets here...
What's the bet size? What should the bet size be?
He's going to bet 32,000 in my book here.
40.
And there you go, bets 40. He's going to get called by Kalakis, and that allows Tim Flanders to fold, because Tim cannot be winning this coup.
We've already seen Achilles is kind of on his A game tonight. I mean, obviously, the flush is good, a good hand, but... I mean, he doesn't think Donica would be bluffing here, does he?
The information he has got is he's in a 3-way coup, and a 3-way coup will open itself up to a full house being out there, as opposed to if it heads up, you just can't believe they've got it. In his mind, he's betting with the flush. He's playing a hand that's got a bigger flush draw, and maybe there's someone who's got 2 pair or a set.
If somebody had a bigger flush out there, I mean,
I think the hand would have been played faster.
Right.
So, I mean, that's probably going to mess up his thought process.
Because it's, I mean, and who's he more worried about? Is he worried about...
Call.
Yeah, and Tim has to pass here.
This has been one strange hand. It's kind of amazing that no one's going to go broke here.
Well, you see, what Kalakis' flush is just sort of mid-range, and he was scared of another spade coming out. Because when he gets 2 opponents, he's thinking, I'm never going to make somebody with the ace of spades pass. So he needs to see no spades.
Look at that face, Tim. Physical torture pain. But 40,000 is nearly all his stack. Can he beat a bet and a call?
No. And I'm sure he's going to be clever enough to understand that. He's just mad that it's paired up at the end, but he doesn't know the pair up at the end has actually saved him. He's not going to be thinking that, but that's exactly how it is.
He's looking at Achilles. He's looking at Donica. I mean, in his wildest dreams, could he say to himself, Achilles... No.
Well, his best chance was to phone a friend. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
What a hand!
Straight.
Through the main event. Back to the featured table now. 3 players in a hand. Mike Matusow, Roberto Romanello, and Greg Geller. Matusow with pocket 9s. Romanello has pocket jacks. Geller leads them both with 2 kings.
3 big pocket pairs. I smell trouble.
Flop now is ace, jack, king. Geller hit his set of kings. Romanello a set of jacks, and that missed Matusow.
Set over set. Now I really smell trouble.
Matusow does check. Romanello owns a fish and chip shop in Wales, and he checks. And Geller checks.
Geller should have fired away. Too many draws on that board.
Turn card is a 10. Geller still leads with his 3 kings.
But see, someone's got to have Broadway now, don't they? Well, nobody does, but somebody should.
Matusow checked it. Romanello now checks it over to Geller, who leads, and he checks.
Well, I got to get a court order to make this guy bet?
Another 10 on the river. Geller gets the check mark with kings full. Matusow's lucky he didn't hit that 9. He checks. Romanello now will bet 1,800 with jacks full.
Yeah, bad time for jacks full. Man, you're right, Lon. Pocket jacks are impossible to play.
Geller now, kings full, and a check mark will raise it to 6,000.
Well, now Geller's check looks brilliant. He's got Romanello trapped.
Matusow gets out of the way. Now to Romanello, needs 4,200 to call.
Just don't raise me.
Geller playing games with Romanello.
You sure if I pass? Pardon me? You sure if I pass? No. One time? No.
The only thing preventing Romanello from pushing all in, and I would have yelled out Heidi Ho an hour ago, was that Geller made a big pre-flop raise, so he could have pocket aces or pocket kings. And unless Romanello's going Hollywood on us, he's actually considering mucking his jacks full, which would be an unconscious laydown. I mean, if he lays this down, I'll move to a Franciscan monastery and become head chef.
Okay, I'll show.
Geller trying to move things along.
Is he really thinking of folding this?
Okay.
He does.
No way he folds.
Yeah, he said he would. Let's go. Fold. You're out. Your hand's dead. Let's go.
And shows.
Wow. How do you fold that hand?
Romanello folds jacks full.
Wow.
And that is the player's good instinct moment.
Oh, my God. I could never have folded that hand. Unbelievable. Nice fold. Wow.
Okay, I would never have folded that hand. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you.
I knew I was beat.
That is the fold of the tournament that I've ever seen.
Are there even grocery stores near monasteries?
How do I draw tables with people like this? I mean, there's 72 million idiots out there, and I got to drop guys laying jacks full down and being right.
Romanello may sell fish for a living, but he showed he's not one there.